Welcome back to the CRL 360, and today I'm here with Lachlan, Jily, the Manly coach, and the Panthers coach, and Howard.
Yeah, good mate. How about yourself?
Good. So there's some exciting games this week. Apart from my game, but yeah.
We'll just start with ignore your game, are we? Yep, sounds good. I guess
we'll start that game.
Yeah, alright, we'll just cross that. We're not going to talk about the game at all. No, I'm joking. But guess we get on to the first game then, which we actually have the two coaches in this box from the first game, don't we?
Yeah.
Hello.
They went head to head round one. Round two, sorry. So I guess we'll hear from both of you guys first. Do you guys want to do like some sort of rap battle to decide who actually played better?
Nah.
It was only 2 points in it.
Such a game.
Anyway, so first of all, I'll ask you guys, how do you boys think the team went?
I can go first. All right. Well, I thought it was. I mentioned in my press conference. I initially thought it was pretty disappointing, but since then I've kind of gone back and watched it again, and I was proud of how the boys stayed in it. Like, we could have gotten wiped away by a very big scoreline, but in the end, it was only a penalty goal that separated us. I still think it's pretty disappointing that we currently lead the league for penalties given away, and it's cost us twice now. I think if Cherry Evans was there, it would be a bit of a different story. And if we didn't give away that penalty, then we'd be in it. We'd be given a second chance, I guess. But
yeah, would have won.
Other than that, it was all right. Yeah.
All right, Ash, do you want to give us what you thought of your game?
I thought we were good in the first half in the attack and defense, and that second half, we just let the defense appeared. We let in, how much we let in? And all the points were let in that 18 points were let in that one half.
Yeah, I think you guys actually lost You guys actually lost the second half.
Yeah. Defense in the last 5 minutes, apart from that DWZ show.
Yeah, I think with this game, it was a team definitely between two powerhouse teams. I mean, they're both very high power rankings. They're going to be. I think they'll both finish towards the top half of the ladder. Well, you want to hope so at the moment. Yeah. Obviously, it was very close. I think Panthers probably shouldn't have let the Steelers back into it. They were up 12 to 20, and they probably shouldn't have let them back in. To be honest, that's my thoughts though. What do you think, Liam?
I thought I was commentating this game, so that's the only game I really know actually what happened. I thought that really Manly were really lucky to be in it after, as the Manly coach said. They could have got blown out, so I would have actually been pretty happy with a 2-point loss. And on the Panthers, they blown them out in the first half. I'd be happy to win, but should have won by more.
Yeah, well, they only really even scored 6 points in the first half. It wasn't a brilliant first half, and I think that if they just hadn't let them back into the game at least it'll get them closer to 2 points, then they probably should have blown them out the water. I would have liked to see Panthers really put the sword on and prove why they're premiership contenders, but Manly only lost by 2. I think the good thing about Manly, right, is they haven't really been anything that great in either of their 2 games, yet they won by 10 against the Roosters, which is one considering how close scorelines are tend to be in this era. That's pretty big scoreline. And then they only lost by 2 to the Panthers, who are currently second place on the ladder.
Yeah, look, I think that the boys at the moment are we're a little bit off, making a few penalties. That's been our biggest weakness, is the penalties so far. And I think that in both games, if we didn't concede as many penalties, we would have blown the Roosters away, and in this game we would have had another chance at winning. I just think there's a little bit there to click. I think the absence of DC really impacted the side this week. But look, I think once we click, we're going hard, and we're gonna win by a lot in the future.
Yeah, one thing I was very disappointed about on the weekend is I was disappointed with the Manly halves, especially Mitchell Pearce. He had that opportunity to prove why he's a dominant halfback and why, just show them that he's still got it. He was obviously playing at 5'8" previous week. Came in halfback, Cherry Evans wasn't there, and he really didn't do he did pretty much nothing. And I guess that sort of reflects I know Cleary hasn't done much all, but his team is still winning. Maybe his leadership is what they're really counting on at the moment. you know. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to our next game then, which was the Roosters versus the Knights. What do we feel of this performance, boys?
Nothing to
I
say.
didn't watch it.
I think it's a similar thing where the Knights should have lost this by a lot. The Knights, this could have been a 13+ game. I think that the Knights did well to fight their way back in, but it could have been ugly.
Yeah, well, I think this was. It's just. I don't think Roosters were outstanding by any means. However, all the players did their jobs. And I think the disappointing thing for the Roosters was that they didn't ever put the sword in. They all sort of just like let it hang in there and like always kept the Knights in the game.
Yeah.
And if they put the sword into the Knights, I think it would have been a very good like opportunity for them to show we still got this. Even though we lost last week to the Seagulls, they're a tough side. We'll be ready to fight when it comes to finals. But they never really showed that to us, or to me at least. So
Yeah, but I still think that the Roosters are one of those lower teams that have a chance at like making a statement, but they've just got to
we're just
put
waiting.
the foot on someone.
Yeah,
They just
I
gotta,
think we're waiting for that statement.
yeah,
But like, even though Panthers only won by 2, I think that was a pretty big statement by the Panthers to go out and pretty much play with really no faults, and still have your star man there for Cleary play an awful game, and then still beat team who currently we think at least we'll get into power rankings now. We think are pretty high in the power rankings. Only lose by 2. Well, last week they ranked 3, so like even though Cleary wasn't there, they still won by 2, and past Panthers you would have looked at them and thought if Cleary doesn't play well, Panthers don't play well.
The thing is with Cleary is, I think it's still a little bit of concern to me that he's not playing well. If he doesn't play well in the huge games, I think if they are down 5, if they are down in a crucial situation, and Cleary's not there to perform, they're just gonna say, "Hey, what are we paying you for?" Like,
yeah, and I think if he doesn't perform in those big moments, there might come some questions here around his is he, I believe he's captain at the moment, is he Ash?
Yeah, he's captain at the moment.
Yeah. So, it comes to question around captaincy, it comes to questions around, his leadership skills, as maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's just leading them around. Obviously it's hard to statistically see that. We've seen statistically voters kicked 15 meters in 2 games.
that's not like
He ran for less than 40 on the weekend.
something that just popped into my mind now is with the new dynamic player ratings, Cleary, if he doesn't get his shit together, he's gonna start losing overall points.
That is true, yeah. He's going to start. Obviously, it's going to take a while for it to be significantly noticeable, but you will notice it eventually if he doesn't perform at some point.
Has it been confirmed has there been confirmed that players is it the overalls change, or is it going to be?
Yeah, it's announcement. It was announced on Saturday night.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, just go scroll back a bit.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, just read it later if you haven't read it yet.
Alright. Yeah. Alright, I'll read it later.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, another thing is like with yeah, obviously we'll go back, I guess we'll talk about the Roosters Knights game. As I was saying, my point was that I would have liked to see the Roosters make a statement. I would have liked to see them, or if it's not the Roosters, I would have liked to see one of those teams make a statement and prove that to the competition that we're here to play, not here to be a number. Because at the moment, I can't be the only one that sits here and thinks these 2 teams just make up the numbers in the comp.
Okay.
The Knights and the Roosters.
I think the Knights are, to be honest.
I think it's say Roosters are.
Knights haven't really done too much, and I don't know if I'm going to say them do anything.
Yeah, the Knights, I think the disappointing thing is we haven't really seen Ponga do much. We haven't really seen Munster do much. I think the only player who's played decent, I think Jaden Brayley's been really good at our dummy half. Other than him, haven't really seen them do much of anything, to be honest. And I will say that I do think some of the decision Knights players have been questionable to bench Daniel Saifidi. Don't know if that was the right decision, but it'll be interesting to see if it pays off at some point.
Something that I'm surprised about with the Knights' selection in round 1, 2, and even we'll talk about it later, their selection for round 3, is the inclusion of Franklin Pele when
I
they
still
have
don't like that, to be honest.
when they have a silver rated prop in their reserve grade in Tui Kamikamica. They're not playing Tui Kamikamica. He's an 83 rated player. Franklin Pele is a 79 rated player.
Yeah, I disagree with it too. I think I think
They're
there's a
just
bit of,
wasting one of their silvers.
and I think they're even
What?
wasting Daniel Slavier on the bench because off the bench in rugby league life ball, you only play 20 minutes. You play in that prop position off the bench. That's it.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't play someone? Do they lose overall points?
If you don't play someone at all, they stay the exact
Yeah.
same.
Alright, so
They do not move at all. So, for
Alright.
example, Tuikam Kamiki, he's not losing anything if he stays in reserve grade. He's just like, it's just a waste, in my opinion.
yeah.
I guess we should probably move on to the next episode. We've talked about the Lions for a while now. I mean, yeah, we'll get. I guess we'll talk a bit more about them later. But we have the Raiders and the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs beating the Raiders 16 points to 12. Surprisingly,
Oh.
the exact same scoreline, except this time they won as their previous game. This one's an interesting one, isn't it? It was. I don't know.
Yeah, I was on the commentary team for this one live. Holy shit, this was such a good game. It was so exciting, and I think we've seen a clash between possibly a week 1 finals clash.
Yeah, I want to be
It's
surprised if these teams take up the third and fourth. I know we'll get into power rankings later. Raiders, they haven't won a game yet, but I want to be surprised if this is like fourth versus fifth.
Yeah.
Raiders, I don't know if they're gonna make finals though.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised. Like every year you look at a team, and there's always every competition. There's always a team that just strikes at the end of the season, and even if they're not doing well beforehand, they'll start doing well, and then they make a run to the finals. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders are that team.
Yeah,
can't see them
I don't
ever
think the
clicking.
Raiders are doing. I mentioned this last week on CRL 360, but the amount of strike that the Raiders have, it's hard to see them not at least pushing for finals. I think
Yeah,
they could definitely scrape in.
I can't. The winner I'm gonna see them click is round 8. I'm not gonna see them click till round 8.
which that would be too late if they don't click till then, in my opinion. Unless they've got some scrappy wins before then, that'll be too late.
I think they'll click next week.
I wouldn't be surprised if they click in Magic Round or even next week or even this upcoming week.
Nah, I just can't see it.
I guess yeah. With the thing is about the Raiders, they have the strike power to win. It's just like they have another tough game. They're versus the Panthers this week. It's not going to be easy for them to win. I guess the next game will go. We have the Tigers versus the Eels. We're getting into the shocking territory. So the first 3 games, pretty much what is expected. I don't think any one of us tipped the opposite of these games. The thing is, I don't think any of us tipped these last 2 teams to win.
Did I tip the Tigers? I've had a feeling I tipped the Tigers.
I wasn't on this one.
Yeah, I know you were. I don't remember what you tipped, Liam. I'm pretty sure we all tipped the Eels, though. I feel like we all tipped the Eels.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
We said that it was going to be exciting to watch the Tigers play, and it really was. I think they proved that they're here to win.
Like, this is what I mean about making a statement. I think the Tigers, and especially I think the Broncos, they both made a statement this week. Like, that's what I mean when I say I think that I would have liked to see Manly do that. I would have liked to see the Roosters do that. Just show us who they really are. And I think the Tigers, they beat the Eels. They were incredible. Who they versed the previous week?
Knights.
They were incredible against the Knights. They were offensive powerhouse. Tigers can't here. They scored 18 points. They hadn't considered more than 1 try out of all the games they've played, including trial games. They can't.
Am I wrong here to say that that's our first scoreless game?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
The Tigers' defense, I really think, is what's been their strong suit. I mean, even in the Tigers Broncos game, there were no tries scored for 65 minutes.
Yeah, no, and I can't be the only one else sitting there. When the score went up 12-6 after 15 minutes, I can't be the only one who thought this is just going to be a massive try scoring fest, can I? Like, in live in the commentary, I thought, it's going to turn out to be a try scoring fest. We could see both teams get into the 20 or 30s. And after that, I think the Tigers sort of went back into cruise mode and just sort of defended their asses off. And then they weren't able to get much ball after that, but they didn't need the ball because they kept the lead. And I think, like the Eels played great. They scored 24 points the previous week. They failed to score once this week. So I just want to say, round of applause, Tigers. They played incredible.
Yeah.
And our final game, which I think Liam's
let's
not
not
like,
talk about it.
is the Broncos versus the Sharks.
Look,
This is my game of the round, and there's a few. I'll get into my reasons. I wanted to hear what you guys thought of this game first. I finished the game of the round.
what I'll say is the Sharks are lucky.
Yeah, they should have
The
lost by more.
Sharks are so lucky.
They scored 2 tries in the final 10 minutes. They should have lost by more.
Look, when it was 22-0 at
Halftime.
the
Halftime.
halftime,
Yeah, they scored it on halftime.
I thought this was going to be like 40-0, right? I thought this was going to be an insane try-scoring statement from the Broncos. The Sharks are incredibly lucky to have scored 3 tries in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like this would have been so much worse.
Doesn't really take a hit. I think what I told the boys at half time was really get your shit together, because if you don't get this shit together, you're going to reserve grade.
Yeah, and I think the thing about the Sharks is, although they were down 22-0 at half time, they did end up winning the second half. They won the second half 16-12. So I know that Broncos did win by a lot.
No, they won at 16-6.
16. My bad. That's my fault. 16-6. Yeah, that's my fault. I thought. Yeah, I don't know why I said 16-12. 16-6. Which, to the Tigers' credit, they did quite well to sort of see back the ship. However, even though I have said the Broncos did make a statement, they definitely made a statement, scoring 3 tries at the end of the second half, right? 22 points in total in the second half. I would have liked to see them to go on the job and absolutely flog them. Not only would it have been good footy, but it also would have been great to just show that, for the Broncos to show us why they're top 4, 3, 2, 1 team in the competition.
No, I don't want to say the Broncos. One of my.
I know you don't. Yeah, we all know you don't. But
I hate the
Broncos.
Broncos.
To the Sharks' credit, they did pull the tide back in the second half.
I'm very happy with only losing my 12 after being down 22-0.
And yeah, I think the Sharks, they've got a tough game. I think if the Sharks want to prove they can, they need to win this week against the Eels. It's funny, right? We'll get into that game in a bit, but it's funny. The Sharks and Eels verse, after both their teams were shocked against 2 teams we thought were bottom 3 teams in the competition.
Yeah.
That's the funny part. And now they're versing off. So I think that game could be a massive game. One of the teams we thought was going to go 2 from 2 to start the year are now going to be potentially going 1 from 3 to start the year and lose back-to-back games.
I can't really fault anywhere on my team because I just didn't really watch the game. So I don't think anyone.
Yeah,
I don't think the Sharks were bad. I think that the Broncos were just bloody good.
Yeah, I can't really see a play that played awful from the Sharks. I think the Broncos just thought, we want to make a statement. And I don't know if I said this already, but I think I said this before we started. We could look back in 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks' time, the final series maybe. And if that game between the Broncos and the Tigers wasn't a slugfest between 2 teams who were just vying to not get the wooden spoon, it was a team between 2 top 5 teams that could be contending for the premiership come, finals time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I think that the unchanged side is fine. I seriously don't see where the Sharks can make any improvements in this.
Never do I. I think he's collected the best team for what he can select, and who knows? They could go out this week, and Poppinghamson could have a blinder. You could have Tyrone Peachy kicking just fucking 40-20s of fun, and they could flog Eels 50-0. We don't know.
I think Jerome Hughes. The thing with Jerome Hughes as well, he didn't kick. For some reason Hines took all the kicking duties.
Yeah, I think 5'8" have been doing that a lot. 5'8" have been kicking a lot more, which is interesting.
I thought Hughes kicked very well in round 1, but didn't kick it all in round 2.
Yeah, I guess there's
strange.
not much to say in that game. Do you want to move on to the team of the week, boys?
Yeah.
So,
All right, Liam, do you want to take us through the players you have in the team of the week? We'll talk a bit about it. We won't go too in depth though. All right, let's go.
1 at fullback, Ryan Poppinghamson. Had an unreal game, 294 run meters, I think, from memory. Had a try. Was a huge part in getting the Sharks only down by 12. Only ending game down by 12.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible that he managed to get almost 300 meters in a losing effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what I find funny is I noticed this the other day is that Ryan Papenhausen has has the highest amount of run meters twice. He's broken the
Yeah.
record twice for the most amount of run meters in one CRL game. He has first and second record. Third place is Tarek Sims, who had an incredible game. We'll get to him in a second, though.
Two, Darren with Tenny's Lesniak. Played awesome on the wing.
I love
he played
Witani Zelezniak.
He had like 5 runs. Only had like can't name. I think it was 234 from memory.
Yeah, he
It's
played.
231.
He played incredible. I think the disappointing thing about the Seagulls was Tom Trbojevic didn't really do much, but he just for some reason was finding his hands up the middle and just running like 80 meters from kid-ups, wasn't he? Or something ridiculous.
I was super happy with Witani Zelezniak. It was pretty much any time he touched the ball, he made a line break. So
Yeah, he had like he had 5 runs, but made 230 something run meters, didn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was 46 meters per run on average.
Yeah,
so.
something. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, 5 runs for 231 run meters. Yeah, four out of his 5 his runs ended in a line break.
That's pretty good. Need his hands on the ball more, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, if he can do that all the time,
Dynamite.
then he can like actually just destroy everyone. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see him front fullback at some point if Tom Trbojevic doesn't get his crap together.
Yeah, that's it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, we saw a bit of hinted at it in the press conference. Could see some positional changes. Maybe Tom Trbojevic play 5'8".
I won't say anything, but there's been discussions.
I wouldn't mind. Something that I wouldn't mind is throwing Tom Trbojevic on the wing.
I think that's.
No, I don't think that will happen.
No. I don't want Tom Trbojevic to get less of the ball. I want him to get more of it.
I don't think he's going to do anything at 5'8", though. I think he'd rather him on the wing. He can step through, then score tries. Do what Darlan is now. That's the only guy I see him
The
getting
reason I
more
would see
ball.
him on the wing is for those bombs. He's tall, so.
I guess let's
Yeah.
move on to the next place in the team of the week, though.
Yeah. So the other winger is Remus Smith.
Yeah, he played decent for the Panthers. To be fair, the wingers and centers are always so hard to pick. But he played decent. I think he got a Dalian point or two. He might have even got not even got man of the match. Can't exactly remember, but he did. Yeah, if I look at his stats, he 197 run meters, 4 line breaks. He was really good for the Panthers, I think.
Yeah. In the centers, Brimson and Oliver Gilbert.
Yeah, not too much.
Two are okay.
Not too much to say on them. Obviously, centers very hard to pick. I think though neither of them got past the 50 minutes. I mean, if what always happened. I've been very impressed with Brimson being able to catch the ball out wide. Been a few tough kicks that he's had to catch, and he's caught them all under pressure.
Yeah.
I think at one point he caught one and then ran 50 meters against the Sharks.
Don't even tell me about what Brimson decided to do.
Got the kick.
I guess. All right, let's move on to the 5'8" then.
Ben Hunt.
Yeah, Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt played amazing.
Yeah,
we were
played
talking
awesome.
shit about him last week, but
you were talking.
Really well.
I wasn't talking anything about him because I knew he'd do something like that. But
yeah, especially against your club. But anyway, nah. All right. Yeah, I think 2 tries, just 1 tries. He set up. He set up. He either scored or set up 3 out of 5 of their tries. There's nothing you can find about that performance, to be fair.
So at 7, Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah, he played. I mean, halfbacks. They haven't really done much to start the year. The only player that could compete with Fogarty was who we talked about pre-show. I can't even remember.
Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson, and I think just given it to. I think you could flip a coin between those two. I think the fact that Fogarty's kicks better probably just gave it to him. 219 kick meters. Yeah, he played great. Actually, in general, Raiders are kicking a lot. He also had 1, kicked 133. So, yeah, Yeah,
Thing
that's it.
is, Jamal Fogarty needed to kick long because the Raiders were trapped in their own half a lot of that game.
They were,
So
mate, yeah.
I think it was good that Fogarty was able to provide those long kicks to try to help the Raiders
Yeah,
get out of trouble.
yeah, and as we said before, Raiders could have lost by a bit more. They actually were leading at one point when they 12-10. Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah,
they
they
were.
were.
And Lachomba just scored a try
Like very
in
late
the
in the game.
sixth.
Very late in the game.
Yeah, Lachomba just scored a try for 15 minutes to go to take the lead, and that was it from there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next position plays then.
Yep. The next position was prop. So it was James Rea Hargrave. No, James. Yeah, James Rea Hargraves.
Jared, but yeah.
Jared Rea Hargreaves.
Yeah, and then James Fish Harris.
I think with these guys, I think Jared played very good. I think he just made a massive impact for the Roosters. You know,
Jared was a standout.
Yeah, I think did he pick up a try or was that James? I know James Jarrett's got a try.
I think Jared picked up a try as well.
I know James did too. Yeah.
Oh no,
Jared even picked up
Jared didn't get a
3
try.
points.
Jared didn't get a try. Yeah, Jared Rea Hargreaves didn't get a try, but he did get 144 run meters with 5 line breaks, which is
I have a very
incredible.
I don't know why, but I have a very clear memory of Jared crashing over. But I guess
Maybe it was,
I just made it up.
I'm just looking to see if any other props scored. Maybe it was like Egan Butcher, who played at lock or second row for a bit of it. But
Maybe it was.
Yeah, we have the hooker who we actually now this was a shocker. This one's a bit of a shocker, I think. Hooker Jackson Hastings. How good was he?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a shocker. I think he played amazingly.
I think it's a shocker that like this time last week, I don't think I expected to say that Jackson Hastings would set up every single try for the Tigers.
Yeah, look, I'm actually again, I'm not too surprised about that one. I thought Jackson Hastings played amazingly in round 1, and he's done even better in round 2. So,
I mean, yeah, he's pretty high up there on the play ratings. Obviously, hookers are very, but basically they get a lot more points than everyone else does. Obviously, they'll be rated against other hookers, so it evens out eventually. But yeah, but Jackson Hastings I think he's ranked 3rd in hookers at the moment, which is really good.
that'd be behind Harry Grant and Wade Ewan.
Yeah, I think it's behind those two. Actually, I think Reed Marnie's in front of him. He might be 4th, actually.
Reed Marnie, I think he's ahead of him.
Yeah, I'll quickly check that if you guys want to continue going on.
All right. Well,
so 11 and 12 were Tarek Sims and Kevin Doctor.
Eric Sims was.
Did I write Doctor?
Amazing.
I meant to write Proctor.
Doctor.
Yeah, Eric Sims was amazing.
Yeah, Jackson Hastings rated 4th. Actually, Reed Marnie's been, according to the ratings, Reed Marnie's better than Harry Grant. I guess that's because Reed Marnie, despite not having a try assist tries, he has 5 line breaks and 3 tackle breaks with 52 tackles and no missed. That's why he's better than him. Anyway, go on. Sorry. So who do we have? We have Karen Proctor and Tarek Sims.
Yeah.
I think Tarek Sims played amazing. As I was mentioning before, 3rd most run meters ever in a CRL game. With we're all behind both Papanas's game, which again he's been crazy to start this year. Kevin Proctor had a decent game for the Broncos, scored a try, made decent meters. I can't really fault his performance, to be fair.
Yep.
All right, now the lock one. This was a tough one between 2 players. It was between Carrigan and Karen Murray. I think we ended up going with Karen Murray. Does someone want to go talk through that?
Yeah, we did.
You guys can talk through this because this is one that I wasn't with.
Cameron Murray had 30 more run meters, which really made me think that he was better.
Yeah, I think you could be a coin between these two. I guess
30 more run meters for me gave it to me.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I thought Packer Argan was also very good though. So it was.
Yep. So we'll go 14. Matt Lodge. Basically almost just filling numbers there. Because
Yeah, there's no real like good players that played at 14. Actually, Matt Lodge played good though. I think Matt Lodge played good
Yeah, Matt Lodge should play good.
Yeah, Mellows was amazing.
off
who's
the
he play
bench.
for?
He plays for Broncos. He made 96 run moves, which isn't a lot for players, but he did come off the bench and only played 18 minutes. 2 line breaks and got a try. And his try, I think Matt Lodge's try was really good for the Broncos because it showed them attacking after they made a line break. Often run before, you see players, they'll see them make line breaks, and then they'll stop a bit, reset, and then they'll kick. This time, they
Yeah.
made a line break, then they again gave a short ball to Matt Lodge, and he just, as fresh as a daisy, bulls over one person, no fullback there because the fullback just made a tackle, and they scored under the upright. Yeah, I think he played great. I think his trial was also good to watch. The next player we have is Martin Tapau.
Yeah, Martin.
Marty was great.
Yeah, I think
I
he was
thought he
one of
was. I thought he was one of the better players for us, for the Seagulls.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better forwards to be fair.
Yeah.
If you have a look at his stats, he had 80 run meters, 6 tackles, 0 missed, 1 line break. Yeah, he was just decent. There's no one really better than him in that position. In a 15 role.
Yeah.
Alright, the 16th we have is Hamasele. What do you think of his performance, boys?
Well, Hamaselli was really good
He
too.
was,
I think it was just solid. I don't know if I noticed him all too much. Yeah, he had a really good defensive game. 16 tackles, 0 missed. Along with 1 tackle break, 1 line break, 7-2 run meters. Yeah, he was decent. Kim Wino was on 40 minutes, so yeah, I think he played decent. Alright, and then the final player we have is Tyrone Peachy. Now, 150 run meters, 9 tackles, 1 missed tackles, 3 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, 1 try. He played incredible.
Tyrone Peachy was in another league. In a league of his own, if you will.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he came off the bench, he probably would have got lock of the week over Murray and Patrick Carrigan. He was outstanding. He came off the bench. I think he made a real difference for the Tigers, especially the fact that he did score both 2 of the 3 tries in the second half when he came on. I think that's a direct consequence of that. To be honest, I think that he should be. I wouldn't be surprised if he is starting this week. He's not. I believe actually, yeah, he hasn't been. He's not starting. I wouldn't be surprised though if we see him eventually start. Maybe chuck Alex Twilight probably from a lock, or even start Tyrone Peachy in the second row position. But I think he should be starting.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anyway, should we go on to the power rankings?
Yeah. I actually forgot we had to do power rankings. I thought we were on to predict games.
Yeah, no, we have power rankings first, then we have predicting games.
Oh my god. So why do we have to do power rankings?
What do you not like? Liam, you haven't dropped that far. You haven't dropped that far, Liam. You're already down to 5th.
Power rankings, please.
Anyway, so we have the first place with the first place team.
No surprise who's placed first.
I mean, Panthers. There's no reason to drop them yet. They've played everyone who's in front of them. They're just playing good in general.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask Liam when to return.
yeah.
All right. Panthers. No reason to fault them. They have been incredible start the season, and I'm looking forward to this. See how they go. Second place. This is going to stir up a couple people. We actually have the Seagulls improving despite the loss to Panthers. Now, you may say that's to be biased, so I obviously have to be in a question on it, but that was actually me that actually started saying that because there's no one really we can put second after the Sharks and Eels both lost by pretty big margins to teams in the bottom 3 in the power rankings.
As I said earlier, off air, I thought that the Rabbitohs might edge the Seagulls out for second. But I think it was a close game.
Yeah,
and
they lost by 2. Keep in mind, they had Cherry Evans out. They only lost by 2. On top of that, they, on top of, doing that, they also, they definitely were in the game. I thought they were in the game for the entire, despite being down by 8 at some points. They were. Yeah, I think, if the Seagulls can get a couple, get get their groove along, that could be a real threat. Especially since they haven't really. I don't think they've been the best start of the season.
No, we really haven't. We played 2 pretty mediocre games.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but I think that the fact that they've still 1-1 and they lost to the first place team in the power rankings, they're second on the actual ladder by only 2 points. They deserve to be. I think they'll definitely be a threat at the end of the season. You could say we're probably predicting with a bit of anticipation if they are going to click eventually, but I think it's a matter of time, to be honest. And I think when they do click, it'll be scary. Anyway, I guess we'll move on to the third place team, I guess we sort of hinted at them earlier, the Rabbitohs. What are your thoughts on how they're gone at the moment?
I think Rabbitohs are going to be a really big threat. It's similar to the Seagulls in the sense that they lost to the first place team in round 1.
Yeah, and then what I will say is they did only beat the Raiders by 4, who are a lot lower down the power rankings after they've lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah,
However,
I think that the Rabbitohs have the squad there.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think their signings have gone largely underrated. They've signed a lot of really quality players who will see how good they go later in the season, whether they can we'll see basically how they go. I don't have much else to say actually about the Rabbitohs. Anyone else got anything? No?
Yeah.
Alright. I guess we'll move on then. So, this one's going to turn a bit more of a storm. We have the 4th place Tigers. We have the Tigers ranked. Now, obviously, they're leading the ladder. However, they've worked their way from 10th at the beginning in the preseason to 4th after 2 rounds.
Yeah, the Tigers are fucking blowing minds at the moment. It's
okay. They have no gold players.
Yeah.
If they win the comp, it would be the biggest upset in any sport history.
100%. I think no one, even the Tigers coach, thought that he was going to end the season at 10th.
First.
No, I mean even the Tigers coach thought he was going to end at 10th. I think
he said wouldn't think they were looking at
no.
Never mind. Just okay.
He thought he was going to end at 10th. So yeah, so in the ladder predictions chat, he says that he agrees that he's getting the spoon. If they win, it would be a
miracle.
Amazing feat.
I mean, currently they're undefeated. They're leading the ladder after 2 rounds. Good job to the Tigers. I'm really looking forward to see how they go moving forward. I think they're a big threat. I think the only reason they're 4th. I think the only reason they're 4th and not higher is because again they don't really have the strongest squad as the other teams.
Yeah.
If there wasn't for the fact that they don't have a stronger squad, I think they would be either 1st or 2nd. If it was based solely off performance, they'd be 1st or 2nd. To be honest,
also,
go on, sorry.
Another reason I think that they're going to just scrape in. Look at their for and against. They can afford to lose.
They can afford to lose by even just their for and against 24. I think it's the best in the comp at the moment.
It's by far the best from the comp.
It is. I think their second is 10.
The second place is Manly with 8.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, so they can afford to lose by a little bit. Obviously, they can't get absolutely smashed by 30 or something, but they can lose. They can afford to lose by a couple of points and still remain in that top 5 area. The problem I'm worried about the Tigers though is I'm worried now. I'm not predicting this to happen or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm worried if they hit their strides too early and this is their best. This is all I've got. If there was the best performance against the band, but if they have
what I'll say is I think that is the best they can do, but I think they can hold on to it for long enough.
You think they can hold? I think they can hold on long enough for them to be able to make maybe the finals or scrape into the top 5. And to be honest, I still think if they make the finals, they'll be that 4th or 5th team. But I'm still looking forward to see how they go. 5th place is now. I think this is the biggest droppers, my bad, alongside another team. Biggest droppers, the Sharks.
Yeah,
when
the Sharks.
The
Sharks were disappointing. It's that simple.
I mean,
they were expected to win this, and they're expected to win this by a lot. I
think, and to be honest, again, similar to the Tigers, they didn't have the squad they have, they'd be a lot lower.
Yeah.
They just I'm very disappointed. They were expected to win big. I think everyone said 13 plus on it. I could be wrong, but I think
everyone on CRL 360 said 13 plus.
Yeah. And they didn't even they didn't even take the lead at any point. They were on 22-0 at halftime. If it wasn't for the fact that the Broncos let them off in the second half, or in the last 10 minutes pretty much, they would have been down. They probably would have lost about 28-4, which I think is probably more representative scoreline than what they actually ended up losing by.
Yeah.
But the Tigers, I think they should be considered lucky that they didn't lose by more. And to be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that they came back in the last 10 minutes, they probably would have been a lot lower in the power rankings. They would have dropped probably to 6th or 7th. Speaking of the 6th and 7th team, we actually have the Parramatta Eels dropping down to 6th. Now, they've only dropped 2 places in the Parramatta Eels, despite losing 18-0 to the Tigers. And the pretty much reason because of that is that, again, they don't have the squad. They very easily could have been 7th or 8th. They should...
I think the reason they haven't dropped too much also is because I think we're starting to realize now that the Tigers aren't a bad team. They're not a bottom team. They are
here to play. They are here to play.
Yeah.
They're not here to make up the numbers. And I think that's what I was talking about when I wanted the Roosters or Knights against each other. One of those to stand up and make a statement, say we're not here to make up the numbers. And I think the Tigers did that this weekend. I think they really said, I think even the Broncos to an extent said, we're not here to make up the numbers either. And I think that, like, I've already mentioned this, but I genuinely believe in a couple of weeks' time we'll look at that and say that was a game between 2 powerhouse sides, not 2 teams that are just going to finish in the bottom 3, like we thought. And yeah, I think the 7th place team now. Now I know people could say this team probably could move up a bit more, and they probably could finish in 5th or 6th. We put them in 7th though because they were 10th last week. We had the Brisbane Broncos. Now I think them finishing 10th last week was more of a reflection about how we thought the Tigers were the worst team in the comp, or were previously the worst team in the comp, rather than them us thinking that they are bad, pretty much. And I think the fact that they've won by...
I'm gonna say that I genuinely thought that the Broncos were the worst team of the comp.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that probably is true. And I think the fact that they've gone out and, well, they probably should have flogged the Sharks. They didn't flog them as much as they would have liked to, but I think 7th place is reasonable for now. I can't see them... I think if they win this week, who they verse in? They're versing the Rabbitohs. I think if they win this week, they could climb up, they could fight the table.
I'm still really concerned about the Broncos, mainly because of...
Yeah,
I don't think Wombat's posted his team list yet. I'd be interested to see how that goes. But also their draw.
Yeah, their draw is still very hard.
Tough.
I think the good thing is that they've already versed Tigers, who may be good. I think are going to be a good side in the future. But I'm interested to see. I think if they want to make the finals, they'll have to win this week. Yeah. They have too many other teams coming up for them to lose this week.
Or if they don't win, they need to do well. They need to
show us that they can win against the tougher teams.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Ash is also gone for a second. He's muted currently, so I guess just last for a moment since Liam doesn't want to be put in power rankings. We have the 8th place Roosters. They are Roosters.
Look,
now.
I feel very iffy about the Roosters. I feel like they could be really good, but I also feel like they may be one of the bottom teams.
I think they're one of the bottom teams, to be honest. I think them and the Knights are going to turn out to be the 2 bottom teams so far. They just... I just think that they're a bit... Yeah, I think they're going to be one of the 2 teams, to be honest, this season. They just haven't shown me much. I would have liked to see a bit more from them against the Knights. And the same with the Knights, I would have liked to see a bit more of them. They're both, no, actually the Knights have changed the team list a bit this week. A lot. I'll actually know a lot this week. They've dropped another half. We'll get to that. Obviously, we'll get to the predicted games. But yeah, and obviously the last 2 teams that are power rankings. We have the 9th place Raiders and obviously the 10th place Knights. So we'll start with the Raiders. How do you think the Raiders are going this season?
I think that 9th is a bit harsh. I think that there's nowhere else you could really put them with everyone doing so well. Yeah, or everyone else above them doing better than them. But look, I think the Raiders are gonna click, and it's not gonna be too long before we see a good Raiders side. I just think there's nowhere else you can put them this round. Yeah,
I think I said this. I don't know if I said this I don't know if I said this while recording or not recording, but I did mention that I think the Raiders. I think if it will be about round Magic Round, they're going to click if they're not going to run. Whether it's enough time to make the finals or not is going to be the story, though. That's going to be the question. If it gives them enough on the make finals, they'll slide in at 5th or 4th. If it doesn't, then they'll be just out of it, I reckon. I think they'll finish anywhere from 4th to 7th by end of season.
I think this competition is very similar to the NRL in the sense that we've got a group of top teams that I think are just going to play well for the entire season, and then we've got like 7 or 8 teams that any of them could finish in the finals.
I want to say something. I'd say 6. I think the top 2 teams, Panthers and Rabbitohs, just like a step above everyone else. And I think pretty much Rabbitohs, Tigers, Sharks, Eels, Broncos, and Raiders, even though Roosters and Raiders, the more reflection that Raiders haven't won yet, is the reason they're so low. I think those 6 teams, they're going to finish across 3rd to 7th.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they end up going. And if it wasn't for the fact that the Sharks lost to the Broncos that week, I'd have them in the top 3. Which it's interesting to see if they're not here. I guess, is that pretty much it with the power rankings then? Or I guess we didn't really talk about the Knights, but...
I actually do want to talk about the Knights real quick.
Yeah.
The Knights...
I don't know.
I can't get my head around the Knights. It's just so confusing what they're doing. Like, I think they've made changes to their team.
Dude,
the wrong changes.
We'll get into the Knights literally after this, because after this we have the predicting games. But I do think that the Knights
are going to finish with the spoon.
Yeah, I also kind of like the changes this week. I think it's probably their best team to put out. Still not great. There's still room for improvement.
I would agree with that.
I think that it's going to work.
I think round 1's their best team, in my opinion.
You think round 1?
Oh no, not even. I just looked at it again. No.
Yeah, I think they're getting better. Still not great, but we'll talk about it in a bit. Quickly at Liam. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much our power rankings. Since we're going to talk about the Knights team list in a second. I actually sort of stressed this perfectly considering that the first game of the round. Since they're the first game of the round. I guess we'll go on to the Knights Manly game for our predicted lineup. So I guess we'll start with some quick predictions and then we'll talk about the team more in depth. Okay, so why does everyone tip the Manly Eagles then? I mean, is there any reason to go against the Manly Eagles here?
Look, I'm the Manly coach, and I probably shouldn't say this, but this will bite me in the ass. I think it's going to be Manly 13+.
I agree with you there. I can't see, look, it will be very, we said this is a very similar situation to the Sharks Broncos game. Literally the exact same, actually. 2nd versus 10th in the power rankings.
The result is different.
I'm think Manly should win by a lot. Sorry, go on, Liam.
I'm gonna go Knights 1 to 12. I'm gonna go Knights 20. I'm gonna go Knights 20 to 8. I'm actually gonna predict them to have a huge upset.
Now with the Knights, right? With the Knights,
I just felt like one upset.
I do think that they have I don't know why. I just feel like it's gonna be very. I just have the feeling that it's gonna be the same result. I had a feeling last week that the Sharks and the Tigers were both gonna upset their teams, and it happened. But I think the difference is, Tigers had shown us already that they can win. Broncos had a good squad, and I think I have a heaps better. I think they have a better squad than the Knights, to be honest. The Knights, I just don't think they have the lineup. I think they have a better squad, not the better lineup at the moment though. Once they sort out their lineup, I think they can be a real threat. Until they do that though, we could see them plummeting the table a bit.
I'm just predicting the upset because I feel like an upset's coming and it could be that game.
Do you guys want to talk about the team list?
Yeah, okay, so, mainly, I want to talk about first of the Knights ones. The Knights one, not offensive to you, Eagles, the Knights one's more interesting one. So we have Ponga playing 5'8". Now, I think I said last week that I'd like to see Ponga even a crack at 5'8".
Yeah.
Munster at halfback. I don't know what Munster's down at halfback, but I'm interested to see how that works. Matt Duffy at fullback. Now, the problem actually is in the spot. I actually think that's probably the best spot that can throw out of this at the moment, to be fair.
Problem, in my opinion,
is the forward pack.
Is the bench. And the forward pack.
And the forward pack. I think the bench and the forward pack go hand in hand because it's the forwards on the bench that we have the problem with.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is Ruben Cotter in the team?
I don't know.
Why
I
wouldn't he
think
be?
he's like 80 something, but I don't think.
So why is Ruben Cotter in the team, but someone like Lachlan
instead of
Fitzgibbon,
Yeah,
who's an
why is-
82 rated,
Yeah, I don't get.
why is
Can
Lachlan
you tell me
Fitzgibbon not in the team?
why Ruben Cotter would not be in the team? He's an absolute gun. I know him.
He's a Cowboys
They
supporter,
have,
so
they have players higher rated though. They have Chad Chalmers.
yeah, I think Fitzgibbon would be a better player to have there. To be honest, I even think
I think
like,
Ruben Cotter's. I think
and I
Ruben
still
Cotter's
think,
an unsung gun.
but
I agree.
even
As a
still,
Cowboys fan, I agree, but I just don't think that he's
Yeah, I
gonna
agree, but
he's gonna work in this in RLL4, and especially that's not what they need at the moment. They need as much fire as they can out in the
and
field.
to be
Ruben
honest,
Cotter is not
like to see-
hard
I'd
work.
even like them to throw like a player. I don't know. Let me look at their squad quickly, but I'd like them to even throw like a player like Charo Hastavino and play him at lock, who's fast and can just palm off players. Someone like that at lock, I would like to see.
Other than Luke Brooks and Chad Townsend, they don't really have anyone for that.
That's the problem.
They don't
That's the
really have
problem.
anyone. That's a big problem. But
Maybe
Ruben Cotter
like
could play
Brody
lock.
Jones. That could be a good player to throw
I
there.
suppose he's on the side.
I actually think
Where-
Brody Jones would be a good player to throw in there.
Look, I think the two changes are pretty. There's actually three changes I'd make to this team, and I think they're pretty big changes. Put Daniel Saifidi to start. You
Daniel
can't have
Saifidi,
Daniel
definitely.
Saifidi playing fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can't have him playing that little. And
Jordan
yeah,
McLean playing more minutes than him. That's disgraceful.
yeah, I'd have Jordan McLean on the bench. To be honest, I'd have
And
Frank
then-
LePen. I'd probably drop Frank LePen and start to have Dewey Kamika come off the bench.
Yeah, that's the other one that I'd make. And then the final one is I'd drop Ruben Cotter and I'd put Lachlan Fitzgibbon in there.
That's the thing is though, I
Fitzgibbon
don't
at
think.
lock?
Yeah, maybe Fitzgibbon, or even like. Yeah, actually, Fitzgibbon's really the
I
only
would
option,
drop
isn't he?
I would drop Murdoch Mozilla for Skirin for Kip Cotter.
I just think that
Yeah. Yeah, I actually agree with that. They don't really have anything else, and I had to take them back them having a better squad. I think they have a worse squad than the Broncos because they don't have anyone. They have any of like that X Factor player. Like I know about
Yeah.
Ponga, but he's done like he's probably their best. I think he's their highest rated player. Maybe Jaden Bradley's slightly higher, and I feel like he's done nothing. Like I feel like I never noticed him, and I'm interested to see how he goes in 5-8 this weekend. But
I feel like I'd be interested in seeing Bradman Best come into lock. Simply because Best hasn't touched the ball at all, really.
actually,
And-
that might be
And
not
he
a
would
bad
be a
move.
good strike
Would be a-
player like
that would be a
Chanel Harris
good-
DeVito.
That would be
Yeah,
actually
good move.
a good move. Just bring one at lock. Have him just run around the ball. He's a pretty big player, I believe. He just, yeah, I feel like that would be a pretty good move. Yeah. I feel like the Knights, they're in, I hate to say use the word, but they're in turmoil at the moment. They need to
Yeah.
find the answers. Like, at least
Yeah.
I think the Raiders, I know the Raiders have, like, actually, I feel Raiders, they're not low than them, but they haven't haven't won a game either. But at least the Raiders, I can see if a way they can click. The Knights, I'm just struggling to find it. They have Ponga and Munster in there, and I still can't really see it.
Look, this is what we did with the Broncos team last week.
we
How did that
saw
turn
what
out?
happened. So, Knights,
just said-
you should be...
but they
Listen,
have-
if you're watching
they
Knights,
just
guys,
said
don't
they
feel
couldn't
offended by
quit.
us. Feel happy that we're inside on your team, because you're probably going to win this week. Sorry, Jilly, you're
Oh,
probably...
Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
you're probably losing now.
Let's talk about
Um,
my team list. Come on.
Oh, okay, so... I guess we go on to the
My
Knights.
team list is so bad, right?
Nah, it's actually quite good.
I
you
actually
know.
like the changes. Yeah, I think Clifford's a down and out 5'8". I actually think he's probably underrated. I'm interested to see how he goes. I don't know about the change about starting you with Aiken though. Sorry, I don't know meant to offend you, but I'd probably go with either Josh Jackson or Felice Kafusi starting over him, to be honest.
Look, my mindset there was Ewan Aiken when he came on. He really did pick up. Like, meters were we struggled to make meters in that game. But as soon as Ewan Aiken came on, he made a line break, and I think he scored off that line break.
No, he didn't
Uh,
score off the line break. He scored off a bomb. Yeah, it was the bomb.
A bomb?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Then Walker.
He did make a line break at some point though.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Even like... Look, I know
My
you
point
mentioned this
is,
pre...
I want to have a strike second rower on at all times. So I've got Ewan Aiken and Dylan Walker on at
Yeah.
all times.
I think
So-
I do see what you did there actually. That would make sense. I just don't know if maybe. I mean we'll see how it goes. Who's high rated? Please confuse you and Aiken.
Oh, Felice Kafusi, easy.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. He's also I don't know if
I've
I
just
like
been
Felice
disappointed
Kafusi.
with the way that Felice has played.
Yeah, that's true.
He really
You've also
hasn't
have
done
dropped
much.
Luke Thompson, which is a very interesting decision.
Again, that was simply Luke Thompson wasn't a dropping due to form. Luke Thompson was just a dropping because there was no space in the team for him.
Yeah, that's fair actually.
Fair enough.
Mitchell Pearce was a drop due to form.
Yeah, Mitchell Pearce hasn't been the best. I agree with that decision. I think he's only 82. I think Clifford might be one less than him. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong.
No, they're actually the exact same.
They're the exact same.
And
yeah, okay.
also,
that's fair.
my thought is I have Clifford on 5 years, and Mitchell Pearce is going to be deregistered anyway at the end of the season. So my point is,
That's true. Yes, I did announce it earlier today. That is true. He will be deregistered.
Yes. So my point is that Jake Clifford's just may as well try to get him up a few ratings.
Yeah.
While I can. So I think he's just the better choice.
Yeah, so this will be his one and only season in the CRL. One hit wonder potentially if he can get out there and play well. Mitchell Pearce. I guess we move on to the next game since we only have. I try to keep this under an hour. We're definitely going on over an hour today, but we're at the 55th minute mark. But anyway, we'll go on to the Raiders Panthers. This one.
Oh, this is going to be
now
good.
part of
I
me.
think Panthers will blow them away.
I just don't know why. I'm tipping the Raiders. I'm tipping the Raiders. I think that this is going to be the week they'll click. I think Cleary is going to be called out for actually not playing well. I know I've called him out because I've been actually noticing that he's not playing well. Liam said it in commentary that wasn't actually captured, but if you heard it, he would have mentioned multiple times that Cleary wasn't playing well. Yeah, I think this week they're going to be called out. I just have a feeling that Raiders. I think it'll be close. I'm going to tip Raiders by 1. Field goal. Jack White and field goal.
I'm going to do the complete opposite. I'm going to go Panthers by 13 plus. I don't think that this will be the week that Raiders click. I think it's going to be next week, the week after.
Magic round.
I think the Raiders, the week, I'll give you my week for Raiders clicking. Round 8 won't make finals.
Yep, round 10. They'll play. They'll do a Bulldogs. Absolutely smash the Tigers.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are unchanged. But look, my thought process is, speaking of clicking, I think Cleary will play really well in round 3. And I think that he's going to be in Team of the Week. And it's going to be an insane smashing of the Raiders.
As a Panthers supporter, I'd like to see that happen, but as the CRL guy, I just don't think that's going to happen this week. And I'm going to tip the Raiders to finally strike Whiteson and CNK to play absolutely brilliant, and Raiders to win by 1.
I'm actually going very similar to you, Lachlan. I'm not tipping the Raiders, but I am tipping the Panthers by 1. Nathan Cleary field goal. No, Jerome Luai field goal to win it.
Because 5 always kick the field goals, so slime breaks. Which is
that's why I changed it to Luai.
It's always 5-8. Yeah. I guess we'll move on to the next team, since I don't know. Actually, Aston, do you have any changes to your team with Steve?
With one change, Ethan Bullimore is over.
You're 17th position. Trying to find out who's working there, aren't you? I don't know. To be honest, I still think Jack Bird's the best position for it, and I still don't like his. I don't think Paul Turner's will work there, to be honest. But
I think Paul Turner should go out and put Jack Bird there. I like the Ethan Bullimore change.
Yeah, okay, I think I agree with Jily there.
I don't know. I don't know what you do as a Panthers. You're on 1 in the power rankings. Not much to do, really.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, they're trying to
team ready, but they are. This is what I don't like about them. They're a team waiting. They're a sheep waiting to be slaughtered.
That's what I have the feeling about. I just have a feeling. No offense to you, Ash, but I have a feeling that one of these weeks, like they're gonna come out and get a game in like a couple of weeks, and I feel like they're gonna get absolutely smashed.
You're gonna get a game that's like my slaughtering against the Broncos.
I just have a feeling.
Team out of nowhere slaughter you.
It'll be the Sharks whoever does do that, in my opinion. I don't know about the Sharks or maybe Raiders. Probably not though.
But we'll have to see how they go this week. I'm gonna just tip the I'm still sticking with my prediction. Raiders by 1. We have the Tigers and the Roosters up next. Now,
all right, I'll go first. I think Roosters by 6. I think Roosters will make the statement that they have been waiting for. I have strong feelings that the Roosters are a decent side, and that they're not.
I'm saying right now. I think Tigers 13 plus.
I'm actually going to change my tip to Roosters 13 plus. I think this is the week that the Tigers get caught.
Nah,
I think they've been.
nah.
They've,
I think this is just gonna be the Roosters getting mauled. Like they're gonna
Tigers
get literally
won.
hunted and killed.
Tigers 1-12.
I think this
I
is the
think
week that the
Tigers
Roosters
are
make the
close.
statement. I genuinely do.
I'm the only one going 1-12, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going. I said
yeah,
like Manly. I
Tigers
said I
over.
said not this game though. Tigers.
I'm also gonna tip Sean Johnson to score a try.
Now I think once
I'm-
I guess we're going. Actually, there wasn't any changes in his team this were there. We'll just move on then.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, I think
Alright.
this again. Once again, the Sunday games are the most interesting ones, in my opinion. I think these games are the ones that could be literally flip the coin. With the Broncos Rabbitohs, we'll start with. This one's.
I think
Tough.
both of these games are going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Broncos,
Especially the
Broncos
one after
1-12.
this.
Yeah, we'll get into that later though. But the Broncos game.
Broncos by 1.
I'm
gonna
gonna
say-
go. I'm gonna go.
Rabbits.
I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that the Rabbitohs are gonna win here. I'm gonna Rabbitohs by 4.
I'm going
Again,
to Rabbitohs by 10.
I don't think they'll continue that 4 streak. I think they can win by 4 or lose by 4. We even chuck in the free
Yeah, no.
hit 16
The
to
Rabbitohs
12.
can't.
16 to
can't
12.
win
It'll be the
almost any.
score.
Okay, yep.
16 to 12. What will be the score?
Yep, surely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Rabbitohs look, they haven't been perfect to start the year. I think we all know that. But they have been decent. And I think, the Rabbitohs, they could very easily come out here in the shirt of Broncos, and the Broncos could do the same to them. So if it'll happen, no.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be 4-point margin either way, 16 to 12. I'm going to say the Rabbitohs on this occasion, though. Did the rest of you guys
I'm
skip it?
I'm going to say Rabbitohs by 10, 28, 18.
What are you, Liam?
Broncos.
I'm gonna go Broncos 30-18.
Interesting.
I'm gonna
Broncos
go a
17.
special of I'm gonna go Ben Hunt to get over.
What about you, Ash?
And Ben Hunt 2 tries this as well.
Broncos 17 to 16, and I think Tarek Sims was crossover.
I just tip in the Broncos to a very similar scoreline to your game just to make yourself feel a bit better.
What?
No, I'm just joking with Liam because he said Brett Hunt to get 2 tries to score a try, and then also made them lose by Rabbitohs lose by the exact same amount.
No, I was just doing it 1-12. I had to do it 1-12, so
All right. Well, I guess this is the game I'm most excited about this round. Other than probably the Knights Manly game, because I just don't know why. I just feel like something special happened in that game. But the Sharks Eels won.
could you please bag me and so I'm gonna lose by 50 so I can do well.
I think I want to hear everyone else speaks first. I'm still split in this one.
I'll have a talk about this one. I think this game could go either way, and it's a similar thing that I said last week, where the winner will probably do well. I think this game will tell us a lot about our Sharks predictions. If the Sharks lose this, I think they've got a lot of work to do. But if Parramatta lose this, I think that the first game against the Knights was just a fluke against a pretty shit team.
Yeah. I think at the time, our perception of how teams were going to do a goal, I think we predicted the Knights all to finish 6th.
Yeah.
And I think that that was more, and we predicted Eels to finish 1 spot low. We all actually tipped the Eels, but
yeah,
if the Eels lose here, I think it may just be a fluke against. Oh, it may just be a game against a team who turns out to be pretty poor.
Yeah, but look.
Yeah.
Which
Liam, you've got to pay very close attention to this game, because if you lose, there's trouble.
That's trouble. We're pretty much going to come out here with axe wooding and just insult you the entire time. Don't lose, please. But what I will say is, the Eels. I don't like the fact they keep starting Reed and Campbell Gillard. I think they have to start the 2 golds.
Oh, actually,
props.
I was going to go on a tangent about the team list for NSL. I thought that the move for Chanel Harris-Tavita to 17, great move. Why the fuck is Junior Paulo on the bench though?
I don't know. I mean, he was starting that Nelson Solomona loss, the guy I also thought was crazy. He keeps starting one goal forward on the bench. And personally, I think it has to be Paulo and Nelson Solomona starting. RCG come off the bench.
Or let me do you one better.
Yeah.
Nathan Brown on the bench.
And
Nelson Solomona 13.
I actually like
Paulo
that.
and RCG
I agree
starting.
with that. I agree with that. I like that.
Also, I have another question. Makatoa. Why is Makatoa playing? He's a 65 rated player.
Because the NSL loves him.
And also, from what I've
he's
heard,
rated
Ash read
65 though.
Ash read an hour comp once, and it was about the same overall. Apparently, Makatoa, from what I've heard, played really well in the comp.
Okay, well then, fair enough then.
Like 70 raids still though, but
Yeah, I don't know. I partially agree with the dropping of Sean Lane, but I don't think it should have been dropped for Makatoa to come in.
Yeah, I think Lane.
I think
over
personally, I'd
Makatoa.
actually love to see Lane come in at prop and see what he can do. Like, I think he's relatively fast compared to like other second rows. I'd actually love to see if he comes on at prop and see how well he does.
Yeah, the main thing I'd love to see out of the Eels is put Asafa Solomona at 13 and then RCG and Paulo to start.
Something I've been thinking about.
That's
I'll tell you what I have been thinking about. If this doesn't go right, maybe you could see one of the centers move into the second row.
yeah, I could see that happening. I could
Which
see
one?
he's another one, but it might be a pretty dumb idea. But Mike Acevo forward somewhere.
maybe
Well,
second row.
I don't think they have
Yeah.
way too many second rows. Those Eels.
No,
They
I'm
already have
talking about my
Polly.
side.
They already have Madison. They already have
Where-
they have like
Where are they playing Chanel Harris DeVito? Are they playing him at lock?
No, from what I've heard, they're playing him at 5'8". I think.
Dylan Brown off.
I don't like that.
I don't like
He's gonna
Dylan
do
Brown
much, so
though.
he gets
Too
easy
much
gap.
either.
Yeah.
Dylan Brown doesn't get much assist.
I mean-
do too much in general.
Well, I think he's
I
kicked
think
the
they
most
just gotta
meters though,
pick
hasn't he?
one.
He's kicked the most
They've got to
meters.
pick a halfback. You can't have a half. You can't have a
Yeah,
half on the
actually,
bench.
I really disagree with like playing a half. I think if you get I don't agree with playing a half or fullback half minutes. Like maybe a fullback for the sole reason that fullbacks get injured a lot. If you want to save the player to not get injured, but never a half. I think you play. I actually would like to see Harris DeVito even play second row lock. To be honest.
Yeah, I think Chanel Harris DeVito should probably start. To be honest.
I'd probably start him over Brown if I'm honest, but
Yeah.
But I
like
don't
I said,
think.
I'd like to see-
I think the
I'd
problem
like
with
to
that is I can't see Dylan Brown coming off the bench.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think some
I
of
don't
the
know if Chanel
signings.
Harris DeVito belongs in the halves. That's the problem.
I mean, he's
I
a
think he
halfback on the
just-
game, and unless he, of course, starts another position, he won't be changing his position or rating.
Yeah, I know that he's a half in the game, but from what we've seen so far, he's been really good in the middle, and I wouldn't want to see them change that. He's been one of their best players, if not their best player.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I think actually he's the highest rated player coming off the bench, and he's rated fifth. He's currently ranked 15 in the comp based on the rating system.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so
Who is?
Chanel Harris DeVito.
Yeah,
How do
so I definitely wouldn't want to see that change.
Yeah, he's ranked 15 in the comp. So anyway, is that about it for today's episode then?
I think
Yeah,
it is.
I guess so.
All right, Liam, do you want to do the outro?
Thank you all for coming to CRL 360 today. See you next week, and hope Sharks get beat by 50. Thanks, everyone.